Okay, so here's the next clip I want to take a look at, and this is a comparison of the goal we just looked at in the Traffic versus Sixers game with a goal, actually the first goal of the second half from the Riot versus Revolution game at the 2019 US Open. And the theme, and I want to be thinking about this this time around from both the defensive and offensive perspective, but we're going to look at a situation where a goal comes into the front corner of the end zone, sort of straight up the line, as we saw in the Traffic versus Sixers game. And we're going to see the downfield offensive players moving defenders out of the space, and the downfield defensive players with their backs turned, and then that cut comes in behind them. So I want to show that this happens, in lots of games, and give some ideas on kind of how to think about it.
Stephanitis comes down with it. Now Kamira near the end zone, looking to get this point in. Upwind is going to look for Dos Santos, who does well, beats her check upfield, and Sixers find a hold.
Guts Championship scheduled for next July in the Netherlands. And Colombia.
Okay, so here's the situation in the Sixers versus Traffic game when Lauren Kamira gets the disc right on the sideline. And we talked about this in a prior video, but I'm going to try to make this a standalone video. You're going to see, we'll go back and I'll show this slow motion again. You'll see number 6 move like this, 4 and 5 move down here, 3 moves this way, 2 moves very quickly this way, and then the effect of all of that movement is this space is wide open, and it's Brittany Dos Santos comes down and across into this space. And the very important thing to notice again is that all of the defenders get their backs turned. Just watch when this cut comes along. It's behind. Everyone's looking the other way. They're really locked in on the players they're guarding individually, but maybe more so than maybe to the extent that's more so than necessary, because all of a sudden this dangerous space on the field is wide open. And that's kind of the theme from the defensive point of view. I think the offensive players do a tremendous job occupying their defenders and moving out of the way, but from the defender's point of view, you got to remember where the dangerous spots on the field are. So let's take a look at this again, and then we'll compare it to what happened in the Riot game. Okay, so here's the positioning in the Riot versus Revolution game. You have Yuna Cartagena with the disc on the sideline. This is coming in. Actually, I don't remember if it's a timeout or there was just a general stop disc. I cut the clip more than I probably should have. And you've got Manuela here, who initially moves like she's going to get the dump and then goes straight up the line. Players on the far side of the field don't move too much, but the real key, and the reason I thought this was a nice comparison to the Sixers goal, is watch 2, 4, and 3, who kind of curls a little bit, but it's still the same thing. These defenders all have their backs to the disc. The defender on number 3 is sort of maybe facing this way instead, but it's still, the Manuela's cut's coming from behind her, and she can't see that space. And the effect of this is, gosh, when that pass goes up, I would say this is the position when that pass goes up, and you got the whole wide open field for Manuela, and it's just going to be hard to stop. So again, excellent movement by the offensive players to pull defensive players out of this really dangerous position. And from a defensive point of view, oh boy, you see all those backs turned, and you just think maybe there's a way we could just do a little bit better and just something to think about. What could we do better? Obviously, if you try to poach way too much, then you're going to get beat in other places. But I think there's room for improvement on the defensive side in both of these clips.